Hi everyone, this is Vela from Online Combat Battalion with another Arma 3 editor tutorial for you. This one is a bit of a special one. There's some scripts that I found quite a while ago that I did not write, so I have to give full credit for their author, which I believe is Pierre Mgi, which you can find him on the Steam Workshop. And this is about deploying into the field with some resources in style. Rather than me crapping on about how it works and what it looks like, I'm just going to show you. This is really good stuff. Okay, we're in the mission and we want to deploy to another location. I've got some AI troops with me. I'm going to go over here, use my scroll wheel to deploy a field camp. I'm going to set the field camp over there so we can actually see what it looks like, so it's not obstructed by grass or whatever. Left click on the map, then we get a cinematic, and it doesn't matter what map you are using, you will get a cinematic of the map that you are on, which then fades out, and you'll then find yourself with your troops deployed at a different location. And here's my AI troops that I had with me. They also get deployed with you. This also works for human players, so if you have your buddies in a group, everyone in your group will be deployed. Now you spawn, or it spawns a tent cover of some type, a quad bike, a couple of ammo boxes, a tent for a little bit of fancy stuff, and a fire that you can light if you wish. Now I want to go back to base, so I'm going to use my scroll wheel on whilst facing this large tent cover and return to base. And I am now back where I started.
Report position.
There's another one over here, deploy field camp, and I'll deploy to the other end of the runway. Again, you get the cinematic, which will fade out. You'll find yourself in a new location with some resources. And here we are at a new location with one of my AI troops. The others didn't make it. It is Arma. Okay, so now I want to return to base, and this will return me to a different position in base. There we go, inside the hangar this time, rather than outside. We can also do a click here for halo jump. We can also do a halo. Now we will get an error when we do this. Oh no, we didn't get the error. Very nice.
Report position.
And we're halo jumping. I'm not sure that your troops come with you on this one, but because I haven't tested that out yet, because I really don't often use halo jump. Open the chute. Let's get down on the deck and see if my troops come with me. If not, you're just going to have to get your guys individually to get their own chutes and do their own halo. And no, they didn't come with me. So if you think this looks really cool and you want to learn how to do it, stay with me and I'll show you. It is not as hard as you think. Okay, this is going to involve the use of some Sqf scripts and an init.sqf. Don't get confused if you don't know what those are. I will talk you through it. First thing we need, as always, is a playable unit. Second thing we're going to need is two objects. Now, I've used radios. You can use flagpoles. You could probably even use vehicles. It doesn't really matter what you use, but these two objects need to have the variable names of pole1, which is P-O-L-E-1. I'm spelling that because some people may not understand my accent very well. And pole2, P-O-L-E-2. Okay, so we need those two for this to work. We also need a empty marker, and if you're not sure how to get empty markers, we just go up to markers, down to system, select empty, and just drop it in on the map wherever you need it. Now you can't drop empty markers in the 3D editor. It has to be in 2D, and to switch between the two you just press M for Mike on the keyboard. Now this marker needs to have the variable name of MRKHQ with the HQ in capitals. Okay, MRKHQ, all one word with the last two in caps. Second thing we need is, or the next thing we need, sorry, is another marker, and I've actually put this marker inside the hanger, and whoopsies, there we go. We need to name this marker by double left clicking respawn underscore west. Okay, so that's all we need to place down on the actual map. Now we're going to go and play with some files to make this work. And of course, once you've placed these objects, you'll need to go to Scenario, Save As, and then save the scenario wherever you would like to save it, using whatever name you wish. Alright, so we're in our mission folder. I've named it Mgi Camps, and I'll explain why. If you don't know where to find it, this PC, Documents, Arma 3 Other Profiles, your playing name, MP Missions is where I've saved it, and then there's my folder name there. Alternatively, if you're having a little bit of drama finding your folder, you can just simply go to Scenario and to Open Scenario Folder, and there it is. So in here we've got some files. The first one is the mission SQM, which you do not need to do anything with. The next one we have is the init.sqf, which is init.sqf. To create an SQF file, you right click, new, text document, name it whatever you like, and change the txt to sqf, and there we have an SQF file. So we'll go into the init.sqf, and there's some lines of code in there, only 3 lines. I will put this into a paste bin document for you so you can copy them and drop them straight into your init.sqf file after you have created it. So for this to work, that init.sqf file must be in your mission folder. Now we have another folder inside the mission folder which I have named Scripts, and you also need to name it Scripts, which is SCRIPTS. Inside here we have 3 files. They're all SQF files, and I'll explain what they are and how you can maybe edit them a little bit to suit your needs. Once I open the files, don't get concerned, don't get confused about how complex they look if you're not familiar with them, because the stuff that we need to change in here is fairly minimal. Now, the first thing is if you're not using Visual Studio Code as your text editor, you're missing out. It's free and it's what I use. It is a really, really good text editor. The benefit of that for viewers is that if they're using it and they open this file, they will have the numbers up and down the side that they can use to reference the things they need to change in my tutorials. Okay, so if you're using that, you go to line 6, or if you're not using that, have a look down on the 4th text line and you'll see POLE1, POLE1. Now you remember that's the variable name of one of the radios that I placed as an object to use to deploy with. A little further down on line 20, we also have POLE1. So they are the variable names, and it's got an underscore in front of both of them. They will they are the variable names, or the variable name of that object. Across from that, you'll see I have the words deploy field camp, which is the words that you'll see pop up when you use your scroll wheel action to deploy, and you can change those to whatever you like. Just remember, any changes you make you need to save. A little further down you'll see some objects, OBG1. Okay, what these are variable names of the objects that I use to spawn with the troops out in the field. So I have a IR masking cover, which is the cover tent. I have a campfire. I have 2 weapons boxes. I have a land dome tent and a quad bike. So that's where you put those. If you want to change whatever those are, that's fine, you can do that, and I'll show you how to get the variable name of those items in just a moment. A little further down, we need to have a look at line 41, where it says return to base. And you'll remember I placed a marker called MRKHQ. That is where the variable name of that marker is referenced in this script. Okay, so provided all that's there, it will work. Now I'll show you the second file, which is Mgi Camp 2. And again, it has the variable name of the object I've used, which is pol2, and it has it further down again. We're going to scroll down a little bit, and there we have the variable names of the objects that spawn when we redeploy. And again, if we have a look down line 38 in this one, we've got return to base. We have a look along there, and you remember I placed a marker called respawn west, and there it is, just there. Okay, so they're the only things you need to play around with. Now if you wanted to change any of these objects, I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, so for poll number 2, deployment number 2, I don't want a quad bike. I would like a Prowler HMG. So I'm going to place that down there. Now if you want the variable name of this, all you need to do is right click on it, go to log, and across to log classes to clipboard. So the class name of this vehicle is now logged to your clipboard. Now in the script where you have the variable names of the objects, you'll see I have B quad bike 01 underscore F. I don't want the quad bike, I want the Prowler. So I'm going to paste by pressing Ctrl V the variable name of the Prowler into there and save the file. Going to now deploy my field camp and select the camp position. And now we've spawned with a Prowler HMG instead of the quad bike. I probably wouldn't go a vehicle any larger than this because it's probably going to collide with this camnet. Okay, so that's how you change the class names. You can do the same with ammo boxes, any object you want. I wouldn't probably go putting too many objects down. You can just add additional lines and add additional things if you wanted to, but you may get some collision errors or issues with it. Now the last file we have in this scripts folder is the Mgi Halo Script. Okay, that needs to be in there. And we have again the variable name pol1 and again pol1. So it will add an option to halo jump on pol1's location where I've got my radio set up. And there's really nothing in here that you need to change. Okay, as long as your variable names match, and if you just use pol1 and pol2 and the files as I put them into a paste bin, you won't need to change those at all, so you don't need to worry about it. One thing to note interestingly is if you're halo jumping, your backpack gets moved to your chest and you have a parachute on your back, and then when you land back on the ground, your backpack reappears and the parachute disappears. I remember there was someone recently asking me about backpack on chest. Well, this script will do it for this purpose. Another thing you can do once you've spawned at your deployment location is you can actually point at the tent and use your scroll wheel to skip time 3 hours. And you'll see as I'm skipping time, the environment around me is changing. And yes, this does work on a multiplayer server to skip the time. So that is how you achieve an awesome deployment system for your players. Credit to Pierre Mgi for creating these scripts. They really are outstanding. Now, because there are 3 scripts you need to place in your script folder, and they're not large in size, but there's a lot of text in them. I'm going to add 3 separate paste bin documents in the description for you to download each of those, or to copy the text for each of those scripts to create your own Sqf files. Please ensure that they are named correctly, as in Mgi underscore camp1.sqf, Mgi underscore camp2.sqf, and Mgi underscore Halo .sqf. So the text for each of those will be in a pastebin document for you to copy in once you have created those Sqf files in your scripts folder, and you simply will have blank ones initially, open them up, and then put the text, just paste the text in there, edit things that you need to edit, but initially just leave it, test it out without having to change anything in those. Very quickly, one thing I forgot to mention is I have used custom resources during this tutorial, the Australian units. So the ammo boxes in the camp scripts, the Mgi camp scripts 1 and 2, you will need to change to something that you are using. So in the editor, find the ammo box you want, place it down, right click, log classes to clipboard, sorry, and then paste them into your scripts. Unless you're running the same mods that I am, these won't work for you. So you'll need to change the class names of the ammo boxes you want to use. So thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't already. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. Our Discord link will be in the description. You can visit us and ask us questions there. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.